Mikel, first FA Cup quarter-final since 2020, but it was a real FA Cup tie today. Mansfield made it difficult, didn't they?
It was a proper FA Cup game, and credit to Mansfield, the stadium, the atmosphere that the fans created. It was a bit of banter, great atmosphere as well for them to keep pushing the team, and they made it really difficult for us.
On a game like today where it's challenging, is it just those moments of quality that you need? They were two great finishes from your forward players in Madueke and Eze, weren't they?
Yes, if not, you have to be much more ruthless in front of goal than we were today, because we have 4 or 5 big open chances that we didn't convert. So if that's the case, then the margin becomes smaller. You give hope to the opposition. Obviously, we made a mistake on the goal as well that cost us the momentum and the belief for them. But overall, happy with the performance. We have 2 16-year-olds in the starting lineup, which is, I don't know if ever happened as well, and I'm very, very proud of them.
I can tell you're happy with your team's performance today. It feels as if at the moment things are going well. We're getting to the start of the season where results mean so much, performances mean so much, but it feels like the mood within your group is so positive.
It is. I think everybody feels involved. Obviously, we're playing in all fronts, and we have all the desire that game by game we can start to be a little bit closer to the things that we can achieve. So, that's what we have to.
How many trophies would Arsenal win this season?
Do you know, I think if you start talking about how many you're going to win, it's going to sound arrogant. You know, I think at the end of the day, it's like...
So you're not going to answer the question? Just
answer the question. Is that?
No, of course.
It's 4?
Well,
None?
they're in 4 competitions, aren't they? Nearly went out today. You know, it was that close.
Yeah,
Mansfield give them a real scare, give me a scare. So no, it's just game to game. And it's been expensive with the injuries. So the manager will have to, lick their wounds a bit.
Do you want me to answer the question?
Go on, Maka.
I think they'll win 2.
Okay.
I think they'll win the league
Which
and
2,
they'll
man?
win one of the domestic cups.
Okay. Fair enough. I like a man that answers a question.
Thank you.
He's now affiliated with Arsenal now, isn't he?
No.
See, with the Champions League draw, he doesn't say anything negative anymore.
If you're an Arsenal fan, you have to be cautious.
Yeah,
There's been lots of disappointments over the years.
Absolutely. Well, what a great way it has been to start the day. I tell you what, this
FA Cup tie. Talk me through the finish. Absolutely no safety. You can't beat putting it in the top bins, can you?
Yeah, it was I just saw the space and I saw the opportunity to shoot, so I took it. Difficult environment to play in today, but we don't really need to do, and we're through to the next round.
Yeah, job done from your team today. You're now still fighting on 4 fronts. You see what it means to your supporters. How much are you enjoying that process of being part of a cup final coming up, through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League? It's a good time to be in an Arsenal shirt.
100%. This is what we aim for. This is what we're pushing for every single day. We're working hard. So to be in this position is important. It's where we want to be. And we'll keep going.
I'm sure you all set targets at the start of the season, and right now you're right in amongst them. They're all achievable. How are you finding that change of having the targets at the start to now you're on the brink of doing something really special?
Yeah, I think it's the mentality of taking each day, each game as it comes, and doing what needs to be done. Putting ourselves in the position, because without focusing on the process, you don't get there. So, we're working hard. We're doing everything we can.
That was well done. Good. Appreciate it.
winners on the day and through to the quarter-final. But absolutely brilliant game for a neutral there. Martin, you're not neutral. I'll ask you, Maka.
I can hear the disappointment. I hear the disappointment in your voice. But anyway, they managed to scrape through.
I think regardless of whether you're affiliated with Arsenal or whether you're affiliated with Mansfield, the game was the game, wasn't it? It was an excellent game. It was a League One side doing themselves proud against arguably the best team in Europe, as I said before the game, possibly the world, because the European teams are normally stronger. Arsenal just had that little tiny bit of quality when you can call on the likes of Eze and Saka and Yuri and Timber to come on when you just need to get over the line. That's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what they did, and they withstood that little bit of aerial pressure near the end, which you have to. They showed really good character. But I thought, as an FA Cup tie goes, it was brilliant. Crowd really enjoyed themselves. Arsenal are the rightful winners, and Mansfield walk off the pitch, look at themselves in the mirror, and are really, really proud of themselves. Nigel Clough and his boys were excellent. They really were.
Yeah, great.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment to Mansfield that they've had to put those really star quality players on. And Eze as well, scoring that goal. Not scored since the cup final. He came on and really showed. It's about quality, isn't it? You need to get through these matches.
All his goals have been against Tottenham as well, so a new team for us today.
Stop going on about Tottenham all the time.
I don't know why that came out just then. I know. I need to know my audience, really, don't I? I'm glad to reprimand me. Let's have a look at the goals. Noni Madueke. It took him 41 minutes, though, to open the scoring today, but ultimately just power behind the shot.
Yeah, nice save. Falls to Martinelli, who recycles it. This is just a lovely hit, isn't it? on his left foot, on his favoured left foot. As I said, whether it takes a little deflection, it doesn't matter. The deviation of the ball, the flight of the ball, he was always aiming it away from the goalkeeper, inside of the foot, bending it away, and it was a beautiful finish to open the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, that in training, he'd be hitting a lot of balls from there, and he kind of like, he walked into it, slowed himself down, and then pulled the trigger. Bang, explosive, really good finish.
For Mansfield Town, it's been about moments and memories. And Maka, you turned to me and said, no matter what happens today, Will Evans will always remember this moment.
Yeah, we mentioned it at half-time. The first 10 minutes were paramount. They had to come out and they had to fire, and this is just a little bit of, well, Mosquera really doesn't do his job. I'll leave that to you, Martin. He has to go forward, you'd think, and make the challenge. Because as soon as he turns really, really slowly. Salmon goes inside to Mosquera, probably should have went to Dowman. But Mosquera then, he, as the experienced player, has to go forward and really influence the ball, and he doesn't, and he makes it, I'm not saying he makes it easier for Lewis, he doesn't, but he has.
And even Kepa could have perhaps have got there as well.
That's the only thing, isn't it?
It was a loose pass from the young man, Salmon, but I suppose Mosquera's there, slightly more senior, to actually go. Maybe he could have risked
I think so.
Perhaps he didn't want to get sent off, or a yellow or whatever in that situation. But you can't. It was an emphatic finish, the way that Will Evans puts that away. I mean, he'll have that. He'll be rewinding that for many years to come.
I'm sure every Mansfield fan will. Because the noise in here just erupted as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They've been waiting for that. Fans have been here since 8 a.m. this morning, these Mansfield fans.
I know, they've thoroughly enjoyed themselves, haven't they? 8 a.m, the beers were out. I saw that in those yellow cups. They're not fooling anybody. And they've had a wonderful time. We've had a lot of conversations with a lot of them. Loads of them have stayed behind, now still in the stands, looking down on some of the players some of the Mansfield players who have come out. So they totally deserve a lovely day. And a lot of Mansfield fans I've spoken to are really proud of the team as well. They said, that was great, wasn't it? That was great. They just need to do it again against Reading, as Nigel said before the game. The main thing now is staying in League One, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this was a banana skin, really. I mean, got here first thing in the morning, the crowd, the atmosphere, the energy around it. You know, okay, is there going to be a massive upset? The pitch didn't look incredible. You know, it was like, okay, great leveler. And then you saw the first half, the way they come out. The performances that they put in today, I think they can be very proud of their performance, but they have to. It's imperative. League One has to be protected at Mansfield. Go forward now and start winning some games.
Yeah, we've lost Maka, but that's what it's all about. Reece Oates there, just having a quick chat with
Reece,
Maka,
I thought
player
you were
of the match
outstanding.
there.
Thank you. Outstanding. My man of the match. Well done.
It was everybody's man of the match. That's why he's got the little red badge.
I don't care about anybody else.
Oh, brilliant. Let's have a look at the winner from Madueke Eze today.
And again, it's just that bit of quality, isn't it? You know, this is what you get. Eze making, I mean, I was going to say a yard of space. It's not. It's a quarter of a yard of space. And the power it generates, Martin, from that.
Yeah, but do you know the thing that's emphatic, isn't it? Look, he's watching from the bench, and there's one or two chances, and people haven't really hit through the ball properly. Okay, the one goal that Arsenal scored, but then he's getting his chance. Right, do you know what, guys?
Yeah.
I'll show you the way. And he's already won this FA Cup.
That decision-making, isn't it? Mansfield were effort and balls into the box and fight, and anything drops. That was just sheer quality.
That's what you pay
just
for.
Moving, whack. Beautiful finish to win the game.
Yeah,
65 million, by the way. And it's worth every penny.
Absolutely, even in games like this, because they've got themselves into the quarterfinals of...
Last of them before ball was kicked.
Yes, absolutely. So Arsenal with the 2-1 win, although there were some moments where it got a little bit tense for the Gunners. Kieran Gibbs has been watching for us. He won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal. Kieran, your reaction to that win for Arsenal that got there in the end?
Yeah, job done, Kay. I think Mikel will be delighted. Bit of a sigh of relief. I think there was some scary moments. I want to give credit to Mansfield. I think they could be proud of their performance today and this cup run. They've gone toe to toe with, you know, one of, if not the best side in Europe at the moment. And I think, as Shaka said, it really came down to just that individual quality in the end. 2 brilliant strikes from Madueke and cup hero Eze. And that's typically what edges these kind of games. I think if you look at the first half performance from Mansfield, you know, maybe teams will start to look at this and say, you know, what really happens when you step out and, you know, press a little bit higher against this Arsenal side. But look, they have bundles of quality. I was really impressed with some of the young performers today. Max Dowman, Salmon, I know he had a small error with the goal, but I think Mikel will take a lot of pride from that. So yeah, I think it's happy days for Arsenal at the moment. They march on, and that quadruple, that unimaginable quadruple, is still in sights.
Yes, it is. Let's stick with Max Daumann. So young, so talented, Kieran. You've got to be excited about what you're seeing here.
So excited, Kay. Honestly, so excited. I think, so much talk in the game at the moment about how organised and structured and, quite dull at times the game is. He's one of those players that goes against all of that. He goes against all of that. The game kind of magnetizes around him, and he has the ability to disrupt any team in the world at such a young age as well, to have that composure that he has. And he just doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. It's really rare to see that these days. And yeah, it's just, I think it's, not just for Arsenal fans, but I think just for football fans in general, to have a player like that is exciting for everyone.
On it, in the end, it's a comfortable save at Kepa.
Would have been quite the story, Iro, on loan from Spurs of all teams, who had
boy.
the header there. But in the end, Arsenal hold on. 2-1 it would finish. They are through to the quarterfinals. They are through, but it has come at a little bit of a cost as well, as we did just show you those injuries. We'll get to those in a minute. There's Jermaine Beckford. He's been pitchside for us today. That was a proper cup tie, Jermaine.
Absolutely, it was absolutely fantastic. What a game it was as well at the One Call Stadium. I would have to say, Mansfield must feel a little bit aggrieved, a little bit frustrated, and a little bit disappointed as well. They were fantastic the whole game. I thought Russell and Reed in midfield especially were two really, really good players. They broke up play really well up against a phenomenal Arsenal side. They went toe-to-toe with the giants of the Premier League leaders, the favourites to win it, and they looked good. So unfortunate, it's just one of those things. Great account of themselves. I'm impressed, and the manager will be very proud of his players also.
Jermaine, talk to us a little bit about what we see from some of the youngsters from Arsenal today. We've just been talking to Kieran about how special Max Daumann looks.
Oh, he's a class above. What a class act he is. Every time he picks the ball up, he looks like he's gliding. He's not playing football, he's enjoying himself. It doesn't look like he's playing against professional football players. He looks like he's playing against his friends in the park. He just looks so comfortable, so confident, so happy, relaxed on the ball as well. And young, he looks like he's been playing for 15, 20, 25 years as a professional. Class act, absolutely fantastic player.
Wonderful stuff. A little bit of a word on Eze as well, if we can, Jermaine, sealing the deal in the end for his team off the bench.
Yeah, look, when Madueke Eze comes off the bench, whenever he's on the pitch as well, he's an incredible football player. He's one of my favourite players in this Arsenal side, incidentally. Again, the way he took his goal was phenomenal. What a finish. Great first touch. Second touch, absolutely walloped it into the back of the net with his laces. That's just what he's about, But he also brings that calmness, that composure, that experience in the middle of the pitch. I mentioned he's my favourite player. He's my favourite player for a reason. He reminds me not so much in terms of the all-round skills, but in terms of the influence he has on the team of Ronaldinho. He's just phenomenal. So comfortable. Give him the ball under pressure in anywhere on the pitch, and he just looks magic.
That's
my favourite player for this Arsenal side by far.
I thought Jermaine was going to say he reminds him of himself there. That's where I really started getting worried.
Playing with a smile.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Playing with some joy.
And absolutely
100%.
right. And Jermaine mentions Daumann looks like he's playing as a professional 15, 25 years. He's barely 50 years old himself. And that's the thing about these young talents coming in, as young as they are, and almost having this attitude as though they were still on the playground, they were still on the school playground. You saw that again from Daumann today. Every time you've seen him, that's the impression you get. In a season that his minutes have been limited because of Arsenal's successes and kind of the focus on the biggest prize of them all, certainly I believe for Arsenal, which is the Premier League title, which is well within their grasp. They're not going to vary much from what you've seen so far this season. So in these cup competitions, that's when the players like Daumann are going to get their opportunities. And all you can ask of him is to take them as he has today, to show what he's about, the type of player that he is. And again, I'll keep saying this because the pitch today played a part in what I feel was certainly the final result. probably some of Arsenal's struggles. It does not help, it does not lean into Dauman's skill set. Yet still, he was able to produce the kind of performance that he did. A couple of opportunities, I'm thinking in the first half, where maybe he could have finished a little bit better. But other than that, it was a good day for him to show what he's about. And again, against better opponents on a better park, you know exactly what you'll get from him.
Yeah, Arsenal reaching the FA Cup quarter-finals for the first time since 2020 that year. They lifted the trophy. They are still in 4 competitions. Kieran mentioned they're on for the quadruple as it stands right now, and favourites to win in all 4 of those competitions. How do you see it going for them, though, Jermaine? Do you think they can do all 4?
I don't see why not. Listen, they're the favourites, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, also through to the next round of the FA Cup. Look, why not? You know, if it's on the table, Arsenal have got the players for it, they've got the squad depth, they've got the quality for it, and they've got a fantastic manager in Mikel Arteta who has been there before. So who's to say they can't do it?
Yeah, definitely not Kieran Gibbs. I think Kieran's feeling a little bit confident right now. What would be the concerns, though, Kieran, where they could fall short?
Concerns. I mean, I think obviously, you know, when you start to get to the final bend is where fatigue kicks in. We've seen Calafiori go off again today, so that will be a concern. But you know, they have replacements to step in. So you have to think that they have the squad depth to, you know, get far in this run. I think the Carabao Cup final will tell us a lot. I think it will tell us a lot about how far this Arsenal side have come. You know, obviously finishing just short over the last few seasons. We're still yet to get to that final hurdle to see, you know, if they've learned from it and how much they've taken from it. So I think, you know, in 2 weeks' time when the final's here, I think that's such a big day, and that will tell us so much more about what can be achieved this season from this Arsenal side.
Yeah, games in 12 days for Arsenal. How do you see those 4 competitions for them, Shaka?
I'll be honest, I'm struggling to see past one for in that the Premier League title is, for me, the be-all and end-all for Arsenal. Understandably, I think that's your cake. Everything else is icing, and maybe a little bit more so in terms of the Champions League. But I don't feel Arsenal as a club, I don't think their fans will be happy if, say, they win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and not the Premier League and not the Champions League. Right now, for me, I think Arsenal's focus should continue to be on the Premier League. They're in pole position. They've got to see this through. This is the title I think they want most. Everything else adds to what is already a successful season. Without that Premier League title, things just feel a little bit flat. I think they get to the Champions League semi-final, given the bracket, their draw. After that, you're coming up against, I think it's between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, kind of given their respective matchups. More than likely, in my opinion, it'll be Barcelona. That's a tough test, but you get to the semi-final, you're 270 minutes away from winning the Champions League as well. Again, that adds to what will be an outstanding season if you win the Premier League. So for me, right now, as much as you're in 4 competitions, I'm not looking much further than the Premier League. You get that, and then everything else just feels so much more special.
Action from Mansfield Town. Liam McDevitt is speaking to Will Evans and Reece Oates.
Wow, you played against the best team in the country at the minute, and you gave them such a good game. What did you make of your performance? You threw everything at it.
Yeah, the gaffer said just have a go, and I think that's what we've done today. We just had a go from minute one, and I think we've created probably many more chances than we thought we would. And look, they've just scored two rockets, and you can't do anything about that. We probably should have made more of our chances, but you can't fault the lads' work rate, and like the gaffer said, just have a go, and that's what we've done.
Yeah, 2 great goals from them, but talk me through the finish. It turned them inside out. It was a lovely one, wasn't it?
Was it that good?
Oh, it was great.
No, yeah, obviously I was gutted to not start the game, and then I've just thought if I get any chance today, I've got to just, you know, just got to prove a point, I suppose. Not just to the team, but to myself as well. You know, it's typical me to go on a bit of a goal drought in the league and then come on for half a game and score against Arsenal. So yeah, I mean the ball broke to me. He didn't press me, and I thought get it onto my left foot, and it's just the gaffer drums on about it low and hard, and luckily it's gone in the far corner.
You were only on for 4 minutes when you got that one. And talk to me, you're an Arsenal fan. How was it today? Sure, lining up against players I'm sure you support when you're not playing for Mansfield. Enjoyed it?
I have, yeah. It's the dream. Since I was a kid, I've always said either play for Arsenal or play against Arsenal, and today I've managed to do that. And yeah, it was just a dream, just being around it from once I got to the ground. Really, you've seen the atmosphere today, and you just got to enjoy every minute, and that's what I've done. So I can say I've played against Arsenal now, and dream come true, yeah.
And you've had a proper journey in your career to get to this point. Have you allowed yourself during any of this? I know you've been there in cups before, but during these games, do you allow yourself to have a look at the journey that you've been on? Because it's different to a lot of players.
Yeah, everyone does say that to me, but you know what football's like. It's thick and fast. It's on to the next game, and you know we go Tuesday, Saturday night to the end of the season, so you don't really have much time to take it all in. You know, one day I might just go through my old goals and enjoy the moment. But listen, as good as the atmosphere and the game and the occasion was today, we've got to shift our focus to Tuesday now, and I suppose that's what we're going to have to do.
You've given us some special moments this FA Cup. I've got a Player of the Match trophy for you that you'll be getting shortly. But well done, you've done your town and the club proud.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Those players are always going to remember. It is brilliant that Rhys Oates is taking home the Player of the Match trophy. Could you have asked for more?
Not from the players today. I thought the effort that they gave was absolutely incredible, and we wanted to make it a proper cup tie and a tough game for Arsenal, make it uncomfortable, and I thought we did that. We probably had a few more situations and chances than we anticipated before the game. First 15 minutes of the game, we could have got a goal, and then certainly at the start of the second half when we got one as well, we had another couple of situations. Our goalie had to make a few good saves, and they did miss a few chances as well. You have to stay in the game. You have to get away with that. But overall, lads were fantastic.
Did you honestly expect to create as many as you did against Arsenal? We're going to show you quite a few of them now.
No, we cut in from this angle quite a bit and we're so close. You just need a break in the box as well. Lovely strike, great save. But I think we set the tone early on as well, saying, we didn't want to make it sort of this where Arsenal had 80% possession and they just dictated the game. There's no point, and then they just picked us off. So we wanted to, for our crowd as well, they want us to be. I thought this was the best situation.
This was
the one. You have to either pull it back or something, or keep going or something. I thought it was a brilliant one, and we're inches away from that one as well.
Is that just decisions in the final third?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We always have that problem. We have it week in, week out. Yeah. We're a League One side, and even a little header at the end from Oliver. On a different day, he could have diverted it in. But the number of efforts we've had today, absolutely brilliant. And I hope Arsenal know they've been in a game.
Oh, I'm sure they certainly do. We were talking about how the FA Cup's all about moments and memories, and this is one memory the fans are going to keep forever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he just capitalises on the mistake, but it's because we're pressing and because we're on the front foot that we get the situation. And yeah, he took it away great.
And Nigel, do you think that's a little bit of the fact that you didn't start him? It's like, okay, but you're going to need him.
Oh, yeah.
He's come off the bench wanting to prove to you, I should be starting this game.
We're very close to starting, probably on Wednesday, middle of the week. He was starting, and then we just thought we'll go with Tyler and Oatesy, and Tyler just might come off and cause a few more problems in a different sort of way. But once Tyler felt his calf at half-time, Will's first on.
Yeah. I think the fact that you were really positive and you just didn't sit back, I mean, that is a brilliant attitude already. And I think the biggest compliment Arsenal can pay to yourselves is the forward line that they finished the pitch with. They finished the end of the game with, bringing on Saka, bringing on Eze. They've got Martinelli, they've got Madueke. They are stacked, and you're still in the game right into the final whistle.
That's it, which we're very, very proud of. And that was the thing, hang on in there. We said to the lads as well, if we do concede, don't concede that second one. And then it goes 2-3, and then they can bring a couple of youngsters on maybe, and it becomes a little bit too easy. But no, I don't think it ever got to that stage.
No, it didn't at all. And what's your thought process now, Nigel? Because you've got, as you said before the game, you've got a massive game come Tuesday.
Yes.
Plans now for the team? Do they get day off tomorrow, or are you right back into it?
No, they'll get a couple of days off.
Okay.
And what we do is we come in Tuesday morning and we just have a very light half an hour. But we find it's beneficial with home games that they get the 48 hours rest.
Yes.
Especially after today. Pitch is difficult to say the least, and when you're running running on it. It takes a little bit more out of you. So the lads get 48 hours rest. Get ready for on
And this
Tuesday
type
morning.
of support again, hopefully.
I hope so. Honestly, they've been magnificent. Honestly, for 5 odd years, we've never experienced anything like it. Home and away as well. Our away following is incredible, and I'm so little bit. We've got this nagging thing in that we could have done it today. We could have done it. Extremely proud of everything and how close we got. But we could have done it. But everybody's had it. I think they've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you can take that feeling and put it back into the league form and get the frustration out there potentially.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
No,
We really
thank
do
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I'm glad it was a good game for you.
It was. We
Good
thoroughly
memories.
enjoyed it.
Well, Liverpool managed to do so yesterday. Kay Murray and Shaka Hislop here in the studio. Let's get you caught up on what we have seen in this first half of action between these two teams. Massive disparity between the two of them coming into the game in terms of league position, the money that's spent on the squad. But in the early stages, we saw a flurry of Mansfield chances. This is the first of them from Louis Reed.
Yeah, Louis Reed gets his ball back top of the box. Kepa with a good save after pushing out the initial cross. Arsenal probably dominated the first 10, but then started to struggle from there on in with the heavy pitch. Mansfield more used to these conditions, certainly taking advantage of some of Arsenal's uncertainty on this rather heavy, rather boggy pitch.
And it kept coming from Mansfield as well. 13th minute, Tyler Roberts would go just wide here.
Tyler Roberts has been very clever on the ball, just hasn't been able to hit the target, hasn't been able to truly test Kepa.
And then 40th minute is when we would see Arsenal break the deadlock. Madueke here from the top of the box.
Arsenal had their chances, but quality eluded them up until this from Madueke. Nice ball by Martinelli, coming back at him. Knows exactly what he wants to do. Control finish, a finish of true quality from Noni Madueke.
So we've got Arsenal leading at the break against Mansfield Town, although it's not been easy to find that goal that came from Noni Madueke. That has got to be a sigh of relief for Mikel Arteta. Today at the ground we have Jermaine Beckford. We've also got Kieran Gibbs watching the game for us as well. Jermaine has managed to stay dry despite a little trouble with the sprinklers earlier. And despite some early struggles for Arsenal, they got that goal. That's got to be a huge sigh of relief for them, Jermaine.
Yeah, it is. Especially based on the stats that Arsenal have been completely dominating the game. Mansfield have been in the game as well. They've had a couple of really good opportunities. They've been very wasteful in front of goal, which has been quite disappointing. The fans, you can hear it a little bit, but we've seen it from Mansfield before. They went 1-0 down against Burnley at half-time. At the second half and managed to get themselves a few goals. So, you know, they'll be in the change rooms this half thinking to themselves, do you know what? We're well in this game. We've had lots of opportunities. As long as we get a little bit more ruthless in front of goal, we're definitely in with a chance. So, you know, they won't be down too much in terms of the goal conceded, but at the same time, it'll be a little bit frustrated. We can see that from the gaffer.
Yeah, look out, Kieran. Arsenal could be in trouble here.
Yeah, honestly, Kay, I think up until the goal, you have to say Mansfield, for me, probably were the better of the two sides. I love the way they've approached the game. The timing of their press has been really good. You know, they haven't just sat deep in that low block, which we often see so many times these days. And honestly, it's been a bit of fresh air to see. On top of that, they've been effective in transition. You know, whether they've got a shot at goal and forced the keeper to make a save. And Arsenal have really struggled to get any real rhythm, as Shaka said. You know, unfamiliar environment. And I think above all, Mansfield just don't seem inferior at the moment. So if they can keep that level of performance up, then I think we've still got a game on our hands here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that second half will be on the way very soon. We have more FA Cup action coming up for you this weekend, though, across ESPN+. Be sure.
I mean, that's how you could describe this right here, a light heavyweight tie in potential aspects. But what a first half. It's been really entertaining, Martin.
Yeah, Mansfield lived up to the billing. We talked about Reece Oates and his pace, and he caused Arsenal quite a few problems. Roberts shooting from distance. It's been an examination of this Arsenal team and their squad, but they've come through it to be leading at half-time. It's really important that they get that goal.
Yeah, just at the halfway point, Noni Madueke, but it took 41 minutes, Macca.
Yeah, it did. Nice shot, good save by the goalkeeper, Martinelli. Resurfaces as well, and as it falls to Madueke, he gets really good contact. Whether it just clips off Roberts' shin, I don't know, but he wasn't going to divert it much anyway. He really catches hold of it. And Arsenal have just got that little bit more class, haven't they? Mansfield have been great. The effort closing down Arsenal, making it difficult. But when they have a little tiny bit of space, Arsenal, they have made the better chances. But it's been a really nice contest for the first 45 minutes.
It has, and let's have a look at some of their chances, because whilst you are only a goal behind, there is always a chance to get yourself back into it.
Yeah, and they've shown that. I mean, look, this is Oates out on the wing here, and he gets past the defender there, and he puts the ball in the box. I think that Kepa does incredibly well to get a hand on that, and then they're following in, and it was a bit of Roy the Rover stuff.
Yeah, it was
from Mansfield. And I think these young lads have okay, do you know what? We want to show that we belong at this level against this sort of opposition, and they've really equipped themselves. It looked really dangerous, Matt.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. They haven't. Now Arsenal gone to a back four, they look a little bit more organised. But I think early on, these type of moments, they looked a little bit vulnerable at Arsenal at one stage, because they had three at the back and they made chances, Mansfield, and it was just all effort and determination and getting the ball. This was a good opportunity. But as is always the case when you start going down the leagues, it's the final ball, it's the decision-making, and that's the hard part. That's the hard part, to get it right. And Arsenal have just shaded it in that respect, in the better chances in the final third.
It's a good call. Oates has got that endeavour, that determination. He's just got to sort out his feet in those sorts of areas when he gets there.